We are back live here on kjagradio.com, also jiggyjaguar.com as well. We have a tremendous guest with us today. She joins us live here on our big broadcast. Alyssa, how are you, my friend?
Jiggy, I just spilled soup all over myself.
Well, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this show in a goddamn sweatshirt, so I just took off the sweatshirt. So that kind of makes two of us here. Well, we interview porn stars on the Sunday show. It's too bad we couldn't have had you on then. You could have fit right in. You got the dress, the whole 9 yards. But so you have got a pretty amazing music collection. We had you on International Live fairly recently, me and Mr. DJ Dan. And I wanted to have you on kjagradio.com and talk a little bit more about this music. So, first of all, how did you get started in music? I guess we'll start there.
Sure. Accidentally / divine intervention.
Okay.
I believe it was divine intervention, but a lot of people, especially in this industry, they kind of come out of the womb knowing they want to be in music, and I came out of the womb wanting to dance. So I spent my entire life ballet, jazz, tap, hip hop, and I had moved from my hometown San Diego to Los Angeles, California to teach dance. I danced in the Super Bowl that year, and working at one of my several part-time jobs, my coworkers heard me singing to myself and forced me onto a karaoke stage, and that karaoke became very addicting to me, and I sung at least once a week at different karaoke spots for a year until I just decided to pursue it. And I'd hear the same thing from people after the shows, and it was almost verbatim what people would say, which is, where can we see your next show? Where can we buy a CD? So after a year of hearing that, I took it as a sign.
That is awesome. We have got a tremendous guest with us today, and she joins us live here on our big program. How do people find you on social media, websites, get your music, all that fun stuff?
Well, you can Google Alyssa Jacey, ALYSSA JACEY. I'm on iTunes and Apple Music and Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio. You can say, "Hey Alexa, play music by Alyssa Jacey," and she will.
Awesome. So how is that something your label set up, or did you have to go through the whole process of trying to get that put together?
I don't have a label. I don't have a manager. I only just signed with PR agency last month, or I guess December. That's the first PR agency I ever worked with. So I've never had a team, so to speak, except for I have been working with the same entertainment lawyer for about a decade, which is awesome. That's our little baby team.
So I have tried to get this Alexa thing set up, and it is kind of a nightmare. What the hell did you do trying to get this done? Yeah, the Alexa thing was a nightmare for us to get set up. What was it? What was it worse for a musician?
I'm not sure if I'm understanding what you're asking me. Like, just to get.
Well, when I'll take you through the whole thing. When I wanted to be able to have the whole Alexa play, the Jiggy Jaguar show or whatever, and I went through several companies. I went through several folks that, they were going to help us do these things, and I had to send them URLs, and we had to do our RSS feeds. We had to do all this stuff, but we finally got it set up. But it took me like 6 goddamn months to do this. What was it that much of a process for you, or was it easier since you're a musician?
Not at all. No, I have no idea what it's like for podcasts, but no, it's as simple as, we use as musicians distributors to distribute our singles and our records through Amazon Music or through iTunes, and so it's just through the distributor. They take care of it, so I don't have
to. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. Because like I said, it was kind of a nightmare for us, but I'm glad that it wasn't as much of a nightmare for you. So
no, lots of other things have been nightmares in this.
So what is your songwriting process like?
I actually just was writing a song right before the first time we were supposed to talk.
Yes.
I have been a little bit frustrated the last 2 days. I haven't had the greatest 48 hours, and I'm taking a break from drinking alcohol. I'm going 100 days, and I'm on day 36 today. And
wow.
Yeah, it's intense for a musician to not drink for this long. Just because, I mean, I really do enjoy it. And also, it's our industry. It's a social thing. We do it a lot. But so instead of drinking, I need another vice. And I have a little bit of candy that I eat from time to time. But songwriting is a great thing to turn to. So my songwriting process is truly just when do I feel like I need to write? And today, it wasn't so much of an inspirational feeling as it was I need to get something out. And I started writing a song not even close to any topic about what I was feeling, but I wrote a song called Aging is Beautiful.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thanks.
So, who are some of your influences?
Well, over the years, that's been different. So, growing up, my influences were for dance, right? Because I didn't really know I could sing until I was almost 24 years old. So my initial influencers were people like Janet Jackson and Amy Grant and Mariah Carey and Paula Abdul. As a young girl, I loved listening to them. But after getting into the music industry, Sarah Bareilles, after she came out, Sarah McLachlan early on, Jewel, 1995, Jewel, Pieces of You, that record, played that so much. Colby Calais, there's female singer-songwriters.
Awesome. Awesome. We have got a great guest with us today. Alyssa Jacey joins us here in our broadcast, and you have quite the background. You've been involved in all sorts of different things. What are some of your goals for like this next year or a couple years? What are some of the different things you're wanting to accomplish?
Well, definitely. I've never released a live album before. I've released 8 different kinds of EPs, LPs, full-length albums, but I've never released a live record. So my 9th release in my career, it comes out on March 26th. It's just called Alyssa Jacey Live. There will be 32 tracks on it, and 14 songs, but lots of like banter in between. You can kind of fast forward through those. A goal of mine for last year, which did happen and happened twice already this year, is getting signed to a sync licensing agency, because my ultimate goal is to get my songs on TV and film.
That's fantastic.
And that will happen. I know it will. And eventually get on Ellen and Saturday Night Live.
That's awesome. That is fantastic. So I have talked with a lot of different musicians over the years who have gotten their stuff in, these Netflix shows or what have you. And it seems like the people such as yourself that are trying to get to that goal, you're excited about this. And I've talked to the people that have already done it, and it's not that big of a deal to them. Well, why is that?
We all have different goals, right? So one person might want to be the next quarterback for like any particular football team, right? I don't care about in kind of like lingerie football league. I sang the national anthem for the lingerie football
league. Well, yes.
And in music, a lot of people want to be selling out stadiums and touring for Garth Brooks or whoever, and that's not my ultimate goal. So something that could be really exciting for me might mean nothing to someone else. And probably after something happens to you that many times, such as so many successes of getting your song in so many different shows, it's probably not so much of a big deal. Like, for example, playing at one of the bigger venues here in Nashville. I might have played there a million times by now, and maybe it's not as big of a deal to me, but it might be a huge deal to someone else. There's some artists that I bring on with me to some of these shows. They're like, oh my God, it's my first time playing here. This is so insane. I'm like, I've played here like 50 times, but it's just, so things are it's just different, I think, for everybody.
I think that's fantastic. I think that's great. So, where do you see, you've been involved in music and been around music and all the various things. Where do you see music heading? Because it used to be we had record stores, and then people were buying a song at a time, and now we've got all the various things that we've got. Where do you see, just from what you've been around the music industry and stuff enough, where do you see music heading?
That's such a difficult question, because just when you think you know where it's going, it shifts.
Yes.
I've had so many conversations with different people all over the ladder in this industry, and in one moment it's full-length records with the exact same genre is what you have to be in one genre. You have to be a country artist, you have to be a pop artist, you can't release a bunch of different genres. And then it's, you can release an album with like a few different kinds, but maybe you want to stay on the same genre, and then the next thing it's all over the place, and the next thing it's singles every month, and the next thing it's streaming and no more CDs. So it's ever changing, and it will probably always be like this. And the one steady reoccurring thing I've seen is the people who are truly meant to be in this industry, not a pandemic, not a shift in things that happen, such as CDs being a thing of the past for some people, and streaming,
yes,
right? It'll never phase them. So I think that's the most important thing to look at, really, is just the positivity of the artists that are staying focused and staying driven to still create.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. We have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here on our big broadcast. Alyssa Jacey is with us. What's up?
Can we take any live calls or anything?
I would love to, but they're going to be... Once people find out they can call in and talk to you and you're kind of a perv magnet, we're not going to be getting music-related questions. So, have you never been called a perv magnet or heard the term perv magnet? Neither. That was a term. That was a term coined by my buddy Ross Long from Colorado. I thought this asshole lived in Colorado Springs for the longest time, and then when I talked to him the other day, he's like, "No, I live in Pueblo." Okay, whatever. He's one of my best friends. I thought the asshole lived in Colorado Springs for 5 years. But Ross coined the term perv magnet one time when we were out interviewing bands. And he's like, "She looks like quite the perv magnet." And I'm like, "What the hell's a perv magnet?" And he's like, "She attracts all the pervs. That's why we're here." And so...
It's not an explanatory name. I've just never heard it before. That's crazy.
And so every once in a while, if we have a, it doesn't really matter, because I have had, like, we had a, I guess you refer to them as a BBW, porn star, on the show the other day. And she was quite the perv magnet, but she wouldn't be my kind of perv magnet, but she would be somebody else's kind of perv magnet. And I know with you are fairly attractive, so you're going to have all sorts of people want to call in and give you all sorts of hell. And they ain't going to be music questions, honey. It's going to be other things.
That's hysterical. Comment about how I could have been on with the porn stars, and you're kind of attractive.
That's the thing. You're going to have all sorts of problems out of my listeners. So it's just best we do a music interview. And although sometime maybe I will have you ride shotgun with us on a porn star interview on our Sunday show, and
I've been like dying to do that my entire life.
That's right. Everybody wants to.
Totally. I dreamt about that last night. I never thought it would actually happen.
So, when we did the interview with you the other day, you had an interesting background. You have a more interesting background today. What are the records or the CDs behind you on the wall? What are those?
That was something that I did a couple days ago. I'm just trying to be creative and use the blank CDs that I mean, people don't really burn CDs anymore, so I just painted something blue and then threw on this little joy piece of a guitar on it and put it on my wall. I've started making a bunch of things kind of like this.
So are those old AOL discs that you have gotten in the mail, or are those or those actual CDs that you?
Those are actual CDs, yeah.
Okay.
Actual CDs.
Because I gotta ask, because if I was in your position, I would take the old AOL discs that I have and I'd glue them to the wall and we'd make a collage that way, and then people would be like, "Oh, you've got CDs?" Yep, those are my CDs. Not my CDs, but they're.
I don't know if I know what the AOL discs are.
Remember when you are young enough. You are young enough to know. Remember when they used to send the AOL free trials in the mail?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. It's been thrown in the trash.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but I don't like. I'm trying to be less full of clutter, and when you look through some of your old drawers, and you have this junk sitting in there.
Yes.
My junk into art, and I'm going to be selling it. So make sure people. I'm going to be opening an online store with art stuff like that. So AlyssaJacey.com will have the news soon.
That will be awesome. We will definitely have. Once you start that, we'll have to have you back so we can talk about that.
Thank you.
Because and I don't know why it all is going back and forth with the porn stars, but we had a porn star chick who was making soap during the pandemic, and we would have her on, and she was taking us through all the stuff about making soap. And it's
totally breaking up. Sorry, I'm like trying to get you.
Hey, no, you're good. You're
frozen on my end.
Well, you're fine on ours. So,
okay.
You're good. And nobody wants to see me anyway. Come on. So, what do you have planned coming up the next couple months or so?
I've got a live album I'm going to be releasing.
Okay.
Talked about that.
Yes.
That takes a lot of
Yes, it does. Because you are going to be doing... I'm sure you've got to get it mixed and mastered and all that stuff.
That's done. The mixing and mastering is done. You got to do that well ahead of time. I had to send this stuff into the PR agency like 6 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's that. It's a lot of songwriting still. I play shows a couple times a month, not a ton, not as much as I'd like to. I used to play several times a week, but that's just what the pandemic is. And working on finding more people to sign with for sync licensing and trying to get my songs out there, get them on playlists, and just staying as creative as possible.
That's awesome. So, do you think that'll get to the point where we can get to live music again, or is this just...
Absolutely.
Is that just a thing of the past?
Absolutely it will, because it already has been. Like I've been playing at the same venue in Nashville every month except for April and May of last year. They just sell a third of the tickets. So a lot of venues have stayed open, but maybe they just kept their patio open, or they're selling a third of the tickets. So it's still possible, but it's certainly obviously not as great as it was. But I 100% believe that it is well on its way to getting back to where it needs to be.
That's awesome. So, do you think that, and this is something I've always, and I don't know why I don't ask more musicians this question, but I don't know. You are tremendous, and I always enjoy having you on everything that we do. So, but do you think that it's going to make people want to go out and enjoy live music. Because I noticed there for a while, all these, there's these memes and things about occupy a venue and go do this and go do that. We need you to go out to the shows and all these things. Do you think people will be so starved for live music, they're going to be like, there's like an open mic night, I'm going.
Yes. Yes, I do feel like that. I think whatever they can get their hands on for normality is what they're going to be doing. That's what I know a lot of people are dying to get even into a restaurant, and so many people that I know are really taking this, I feel like, almost to the extreme, just not even leaving their house at all. But it's, it is smart to be smart about it, I guess.
Yes. Well, you are great. I always enjoy chatting with you.
You are great.
And I would love to do this again. Keep us updated on when this album comes out.
March 26th.
Well, then let's do this. Let's see, March 26th. What the hell's the deal here? I've never done. Oh, I've done this a few times on the air, but I guess we'll do this.
Yes, we'll do it.
The 28th, which is a Sunday.
26th, which is a Friday.
Yes, I want to have you on a couple days after it comes out,
Okay.
and then I would like to have you on March 21st, if that's possible. But it would be with the lovely and talented Jaybird Wells. And
Rose.
she's interesting. She's
goofy.
Well, she's goofy, but she's goofy in a fun. She's had a lot of head injuries sort of way, and
Okay.
she's great. She started out as an author, and then I turned her into a radio personality, and then she's got 95 Facebook accounts, and then she's, all of her kids have nicknames and like gimmicks, and all these things, and she has a radio show. The show that you're going to be booked on is now, I like to refer to it as the Jaybird Wells Show, because that's the best way for me to be able to get guests on her show. But she much prefers to run it as Tea Time with PJ Gangsta.
Oh my goodness. PJ Gangster.
So, because she's got this alter ego that she likes to refer to herself as PJ Gangsta.
I love it. I love that.
So she has all sorts of different things on. Like she got in trouble with a book PR person a couple weeks ago because she had this woman on about the history of the Second Amendment. This woman, this lawyer from New York, wrote a book about the history of the Second Amendment. And one of Jay's questions was, so in writing this book, did you go to gun shows and talk to gun owners? And this author said, no, I didn't. And Jay's like, so you didn't do any research? And so then this woman gets back with her PR company, and then they call me, and then they're like, well, the author felt like she was attacked. And I'm like, how is she attacked by not going to a gun show to do any research? It would be like you doing a blues record, or you doing a what we'll say a country music record, but you'd never listen to country. You just wrote a country music record.
She didn't like that she had been called out.
So it's all adventurous here with everybody. So
Probably never know what you're gonna get, especially with live.
Yes, you never know. And so you are the perfect fun musical guest. So I definitely want to have you on with her. Now, something else while we're sitting here, I guess since we're kind of planning this live on the air, can you do acoustic stuff? Is that possible?
All I do is acoustic stuff.
Oh, well, I didn't know if you were like set up to do it, because I interviewed an acoustic artist one time, and they had they didn't have anything ready to go. They were like, well, the guitars are in the other room, blah blah blah. And so what I was going to do was have you, when you're on Jay's show, do an acoustic tune. So I was like, well, if you're set up, and you are, we can do that. So
I have a guitar hanging a foot from me at any
yes.
moment. And for those of you who are listening, there are over 50 songs that are out, and lots are full band, and they're all different genres, but I prefer and love to, when you come see a show of mine, 99% of the time it's going to be acoustic guitar, stomp box on the right foot, tambourine on the left, and extremely occasionally harmonica. But yeah, definitely would love to do a live song.
Jay does this. She's a weird character, but she does this. She plays and you probably know what this is since you're down there in the Tennessee area. She plays this thing called the jaw harp. Have you ever heard of a jaw harp?
Negative.
Oh my God, it's the weirdest thing. It
sounds like something like a harmonica, but a harp for your bass.
Apparently, it's. So, but she does the
for pervs. Jaw harp, a harp for your jaw.
There you go. You'll have to look up jaw harp when we get done, because it is the weirdest deal. And she's got several jaw harps, and they're all in different keys. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense to me.
It's a weird deal. But
how she plays it?
No, that would be awesome though. But she like puts it in her mouth and does a or whatever the hell it is.
That's how I would play the harp with my face.
That's right. That's awesome. Well, I have truly enjoyed this. You are great, and I definitely am looking forward to having you back in March. And I am what I would like you to do when you come on the Sunday show on the 28th of March is to, if you can, bust out that tune that you do where you rap. That would be.
I mean, there are several at this point, but I think you're referencing "Love Is All You Need."
Yes. Yes.
We can do that.
Well, before we let you go, how do people get your stuff, buy your album, do everything, my friend, social media, everything?
Sure. Call 1-900. You can find me under ALYSSAJACEY. Facebook.com/Alyssa Jacey Music. Alyssa Jacey on Instagram. Alyssa Jacey on Twitter. Googs is my favorite. Just go to Google, type in Alyssa Jacey, you'll find me. AlyssaJacey.com, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, all the things. YouTube.
Awesome. Well, thank you, my friend. This has been fun.
It has been fun. If I had a third thumb, I would stick it up.
Well, I will talk to you soon. Have yourself a wonderful day, my friend.
You too.
Appreciate it. Thank you. There she goes. Alyssa Jacey. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, it is more on the world famous Jiggy Jaguar Radio.